Stefan, how are you?
Not bad.
Well, here we are in the first week of May, and we've got our first month of baseball out of the way, but we have a lot more issues to talk about than what the Cubs are doing right now, and that is what's going on in Washington, D.C., and all the executive orders that are coming down against law firms. Since the about 45 days ago, we've seen that executive orders have come down against a number of what are called big law firms, and some of them have capitulated and relented to the administration's wishes as to doing pro bono work for the administration. But some of these law firms, including one that we can see right out this window, Jenner and Block, has not, and they've decided to fight back. And that's one of the firms that we signed on uh, to what's called a friend of the court brief, an amici brief. And there are other firms that have fought back besides Jenner and Block, and Sussman Godfrey was one of those. And that was our most recent signature that we placed on an amici brief on this friend of the court. And that was just within the past few days. Um, Maybe, Stefan, tell us a little bit more about why you and I decided to take this route, and not that we're targeted, at least that we know of yet,
Right.
right? But why we decided to defend our fellow brother and sister lawyers.
So you and I have been practicing combined 80 years. And this season, in Trump's first 100 days in office, we've signed on to four Amici briefs, the first four we've ever signed on to, ever. Um, and it's clear to you and I, we are in the midst of a constitutional crisis that the Trump administration is going after the rule of law in this country. He's attacked lawyers. He's now attacked judges. He's ignoring the United States Supreme Court and numerous other federal district courts. And you and I well know that we are the last line of defense. And if Congress won't step up, the only remaining branch is the judicial branch, and we have to support one another. And to watch our brethren roll over and show their underbelly is frankly
It's just not
it just
acceptable.
it's not right. And so we have, for those firms like Jenner and Block that are standing up, we have to support one another. And this is what we do day in and day out. We fight for democracy, and this is as important a thing as there is.
Stefan, if you could talk a little bit about, the difference between the firms that we have signed on to support versus like our firm. I mean, when you think about the size of, Sussman Godfrey or Jenner and Block, Wilmer Hale, and Perkins Coie, those are the four firms that we have elected to support, and very willingly and happy to do so. In many instances, we are up against those firms.
That's the great irony here, is the firms that we are supporting now are usually the ones that are defending the interests of corporate America that we are trying to fight for the rights of our clients.
So why is that important that we support people who actually, that we fight up against in court?
Because we are standing for the rule of law. We are standing for the principle that the executive does not get to dictate unilaterally what the law is. And by picking on these law firms, by going after the silk stocking corporate law firms, they are telling the rest of us, we're coming for you next.
So here's something that really, really bothers me so much. And this has nothing to do about how long we've been practicing law. This has everything to do with the oath that we took and that a brand new lawyer is taking, and that is to uphold the Constitution. We grew up, and it has nothing to do with how long we've been practicing or how old we are, but we grew up that you respect beyond any reproach the Supreme Court, whether it's the Supreme Court of a state or the United States Supreme Court. When the Supreme Court issues a ruling or an order, whichever you want to call it, that's the last word. Is that happening?
100% no. You have an entire administration that is making a mockery and challenging the United States Supreme Court. They are daring them uh, to enforce their orders, and They're making the argument that the executive is the branch that has the military. They're the branch that has the attorney general's office. They're the branch that has the ability to enforce orders, and they don't think the Supreme Court can. And that's why we're in a constitutional challenge.
And that's a good point that you raised that I was going to ask you. The Supreme Court, when it wants to enforce one of its orders, it can't pick up the phone or call its chief of staff and say, send out the army to go enforce this, right?
And that's the bluff that the Trump administration is calling. That the rule of law that was established in Marbury versus Madison, that's guided us for 250 years, is being challenged in the first 100 days of this administration. And if we don't stand for the rule of law, then what do we stand for? What
Well,
else is there?
well, and I think that's really the danger. And I know you and I have talked about this just between us, that what's happening is that by mowing down the lawyers, by clearing the path of lawyers, what is the danger that not just you and I, this is we're not talking about our jobs anymore. We're not talking about even the clients that we represent. I'm looking down at the street level and I'm seeing people walking down the street or people driving their cars. What's the danger and harm to them?
So, right now, American citizens have been pulled off the street and have been taken forcibly out of this country and put in prisons of other countries. The only thing that stands between the people on the street is the rule of law. And right now, the president of the United States has said that he is supreme, he is the king. And Shakespeare had it right. If you want to be a king, the first thing you do, you kill all the lawyers, you take out the legal system. And that's what's happening right now.
You take out the lawyers, you take out anybody that you take out the ones that can defend you.
You take out the judges, you challenge the judges, you ignore the Supreme Court, and we're watching it happen in real time.
So my take is also this. You know, people may say, well, I voted for Trump and he's doing a great job right now. This administration is doing what we want it to do on immigration. We have to give this time. That's kind of what I've been hearing. But let's call it what it is. If even if you're even if you are an American citizen and you're lawfully driving down the street, and let's say you happen to be the wrong color skin, or maybe it's someone that looks like me but who has more liberal views, are those people at risk with what's happening?
So, regardless of whether you're a Democrat or Republican, whether you support the president's immigration policies or not, the core of our country is due process. Who's going to decide if you belong in this country or not? If it's not the court system and you want to leave it up to an individual who's just deciding what they like based on the color of their skin or how you pronounce their name or their politics, then that's not America. Then you are in a dictatorship.
So I want to talk to you about one more thing, and this is hot. Like this is, as they say, hot off the press. So I don't have a lot of the background information off of it, but I heard that there was an executive order signed wherein the administration is now going to use those pro bono hours that they extracted from the firms that capitulated. um, I won't name them, but you know who you are, and think about now what you're doing. Those firms now are being told that they are going to be offering pro bono representation to police officers who are being sued.
So think about this for a minute.
Yeah.
So the case that you handled, the George Floyd case. So what Trump has done is he has extracted, blackmailed corporate lawyers to now go and defend the individuals, the perpetrators of the George Floyds of the world. That's what's playing out in real time.
Look, I don't get scared easily, not at all. I mean, it would take a big boogeyman to scare me.
Trump's a pretty big boogeyman.
Yeah, well, he wields a lot of power with that executive branch, doesn't he? And I am starting to feel a little nervous. I'm not sure if I'm scared yet, but I'm definitely getting anxious and I'm getting nervous because his strategy of just throwing everything at the wall, um, as we know, is making it very, very unpredictable. A good analogy I thought of was, we run a personal injury firm here, one which we're very proud of. But what if you and I decided to come in tomorrow and told everybody without warning that we're now going to become a real estate transactional firm?
God help us.
Right. Exactly. That's what's going on right now. It's the God help us, because that's what this administration is doing, and a lot of us don't know how to react to it. So I just want to say that we have to stay in this fight. We have to continue to rally together and fight against what we know, because it's not only about us. Not only about us, it's about everybody.
Yeah, it's never been about us.
Yeah.
It's been about the rule of law and the people that the rule of law defends. I mean, you think about uh, what we are. We are a country of the Declaration of Independence, of the Constitution, and all of the amendments, and those are being scattered before our very eyes.
Stefan, I know we have probably a lot more to talk about, but I know that we have an edict on how long we can talk because of what we're going to do. We're going to be posting this, and hopefully people will be watching it. And I encourage you all, if you think that what we're saying has any ring of truth to it or anything that would interest others, share it. We would love to, to hear from you and see what else we can do to help.
And I would just point out, this is the first time you and I've ever done this. And it's the same reason that we've signed on to 4 Amici briefs, is because we are in uncharted waters and we need to stick together.
Yeah. Thanks all.